Okay, you're trying to learn how to stop losing your real estate clients in 2022. I think it's been a crazy year, and it's got even crazier as time goes on, and I think we're all losing clients in this current market. Well, in this video, I'm going to talk about how you can do certain things to avoid losing those clients, how to keep them in your atmosphere, and maybe some tips, tricks, and things that can probably change your game when it comes to handling your clients. Let's get into it. What's up, everyone? My name is Cameron Hodge, coming at you from eXp Realty. And on this channel, I talk about my journey of being an agent, how I find things out, tips, tricks along that journey, and also what it's like being a part of eXp Realty. And if you're looking at making the move to eXp Realty, or you just want an honest conversation about whether it fits you or not, this number popping up below is how you can get a hold of me, or you can schedule a Zoom call down below. I have conversations days, nights, weekends, all the time with people who are looking to make the move to eXp Realty. I absolutely love it because even if it's turning you away, I think if I can help make a change in your business, as I went through that same journey myself before coming here, I think it could be a great thing. So if that's you, reach out. Let's have an honest conversation and see if it's the right fit for you or not. All right, so getting into it. Obviously, this year is crazy. Like recession, like we're in a recession. I don't care what anyone says. Like we're clearly in a recession. Things are like getting more expensive, but now, you know, this video isn't just for like our business, right? This is about clients. And I don't know about you, but I have managed to get, so at the time, like I was primarily focusing on the San Diego market. Obviously I'm licensed in Florida as well, but for San Diego, especially being in California, it's so expensive. Like I think out of the 7 incoming referrals from clients out of state that I've had, well, between my own generated and other agent referrals, only 2 have actually panned out that looks like they're going to be moving forward to purchase something here in the near future. The next month I should get them closed. Crazy, right? Absolutely nuts. But you know, we kind of understand like costs are getting more expensive, rates are jumping, people are scared, they don't know what to do. And you know, it's our job being professionals to try and educate them and keep them connected. And but obviously, people, you need to understand, it's like even if you lose clients, it's like you can't stop someone who doesn't want to buy. Like you can be the greatest salesman in the world. Like there is a certain point where people are just not going to move forward with it. They're like not comfortable. They're scared. They're terrified. And if you can't address like their main concerns, then they're going to go bye-bye. But I'll tell you that let's say someone, even if they decide to disappear, it doesn't mean you put them to the wayside. But more on that later. In terms of keeping your clients you currently have, I think one of the biggest things we need to do is like the first meeting you have is you need to set the tone. And I didn't do this very well in the beginning of real estate, but now I've definitely gotten a better job doing it. And here's a good thing, like I think in this day and age, the majority of clients that are falling off are going to be buyers. Still hasn't changed. Last couple years, it's been the same thing. So one thing I've definitely implemented with my lender is we always do a 3-way Zoom call. Introduce each other right off the bat to get the job done. Obviously, there's different levels of lead. If you're running Facebook leads, if you're running, you know, any other buyer lead program, totally different. Because your biggest thing in that case is to get to a face-to-face appointment. But for like my referrals and like obviously my YouTube business, when people come in, they reach out. Most of the time, they're not living in the area. So Zoom call is the way to go anyways. And I always have my lender present. Even if it's an in-person meeting, I have a lender present because I found that when I have a lender present with those buyer appointments right off the bat, I'm able to get everything out on the table. Because how many times as an agent, you go to meet with a buyer for the first time and they have all these lending questions. And yes, obviously as agents, you have a general understanding of how things go, but you're not going to be able to go in depth of it as an expert would, which should be a well-partnered lender. And keep in mind, I've also had partnerships with lenders who they just don't give good service. So keep in mind, even if us as agents and team leaders are running the right service for our clients, it doesn't mean that our service providers that we partner with are doing the same level of service. So I think that's one of the biggest things. I've cut so many out of my life. It took me forever to find like this lender team that I work with now. I love it. And it doesn't mean they're right for you, but it means that you need to find someone who fits your style, your vibe, and you feel like could be like a teacher for your clients. I don't care how old your clients are, having someone who's in that position to teach them, to help them walk through this journey is just so important. Also, they need to be good at what they do, have good products, loan products. Like it's all important that falls in line. So assuming you have all that taken care of, you as the agent, having that buyer appointment, or even the listing appointment, like, right? Because as even in San Diego and Florida, we're starting to see, you know, more neutral market. You know, if it's a higher valued home, we see like in San Diego, 3% price reductions. We're seeing less competition, less offers on a home. Some neighborhoods are still competitive, some aren't. And making sure you get all that out on the table in conversations right away. Also, even if you, and this is another thing I've started doing recently as well, is obviously, if you haven't heard this before, you're hearing it now. Let's say you have, like, I had a phone call, one of my buyers coming like today, and they're like, they were looking to get a pay raise in July and then look at the home process. Well, reached out today, say, hey, how's it going? Just checking in. Now the plan is, hey, we're gonna look to purchase December, January. I'm like, perfect. Now, after we have the conversation, whatever, I inform them of the market, let them know, hey, this is what's going on. Like, you give them the honest opinion of what's going on, what you think. Obviously, no one has a crystal ball. You lay that on the table, but you make sure they have a good understanding of what's going on, the good and the bad. And even like this buyer, like they love the honesty. Like, that's all a client's want. If you're honest and open about what's going on and like just trends, and like use your knowledge. You're an agent. Like, use your knowledge to teach these people. Like, they want to have a professional who knows what they're doing. Because if we don't do that, then we shouldn't even be here in the industry, and that's what's causing agents to get pushed out of the industry. Is we're here to be experts. We need to do our job. But obviously, moving to December, cut it in half. I'm reaching out halfway down that timeline. So instead of like the full 5 months, 2.5 months, I'm going to reach out and have another phone call, follow up, say, hey, how's it going? Have things changed? Because it's so important to make sure we stay on top of these clients, regardless of where they come from, if they're buying or selling. Because as this market shifts and changes in the last couple of years, people were just, had COVID, and now the recession and gas prices, like, everyone's just worn out. But that means that we have to do a bigger job. Pick up the phone. You got to pick up the phone. And it doesn't mean like, yes, I know agents that I'm not talking about cold calling for listings and all that. Like, I'm not saying that doesn't work. Obviously, it works. What I'm saying is even if you don't want to do that, guess what? You still have to pick up the phone. Your clients, your sphere, your lenders, all your business partners, your contacts. If you're partnered with, like, I partner with a financial advisor to help out. Like, we need to be here to help each other, and that's how you're going to keep your business going forward as this industry continues to get clamped as we go through the shift. Now, have I gone through the last market crash? Nope, I didn't. But if you're like me and you're younger, guess what? It means you need to partner with people who are like you, but also have that experience of being in the industry a longer time, and you lean on them to help you get insight. Because, like, yes, like, I was in the United States during that time, but it doesn't mean I was physically old enough to be working and doing all that stuff. So make sure I lean on my lender who went through it, my other agent partners, the EXP that have gone through it, and making sure I lean into their advice, and I'm trying to set my business up to plan for it. Like, now I'm, getting ready to partner with an agent in Orlando so we can form a team there, and doing all these things. And guess what? Like, you think that has nothing to do with clients, but it does. Because if we're stressed, our client service goes down, and like, that goes down, we lose clients, we don't stay in touch with people. So making sure, like, now is the time. Get your systems in place. Make sure you understand the journey that each buyer and seller is going through. How can you improve that? How can you cut the costs so that way your stress isn't so high, but maybe find ways to automate it? Now, you can't automate human interaction. So make sure, I've seen some agents, they automate the heck out of everything. And it's like your clients are dealing with robots most of the time. No, that's not important. You still have to be involved. And if you're in a position where you have too many clients to keep humanly involved, I think it's time you start looking at maybe forming a team, or maybe referring out some of the excess that isn't super close to you to make sure that you can get done what you need to get done. So really, to wrap it up in terms of the client part of it, is you have to make sure your systems are in place and you understand, like, the journey they're going through. As agents, we probably should have been buying our own real estate as well, and we understand, like, what we like and don't like. So making sure that we have that communication schedule, like, how can you make sure you notify, like, how often are you staying in touch with your current clients? What if you have a buyer who has a really tight area they're looking in, nothing's available? How often are you following up with them? Are you sending them random texts saying, hey, let's say nothing's on market today, even there's nothing? Send a text, say, hey, here's an update, just letting you know I'm still here, I'm still working for you. Because you need to make sure that these people know, because you know you're working, but do they know that you're working? And I think it's really easy as self-employed agents or even team leaders to get caught in that mindset that we need to remind our clients, like, hey, I'm working, hello, hi, yeah, I'm exhausted. We have to make sure that we stay there and we're able to help people through that process. Now, all of that said, it doesn't mean we can stop clients from just dropping off. I mean, I've had a couple, a listing drop off because they were afraid of moving across the country in terms of the cost. And I've had so many buyers drop off this year that are well qualified, making some even 6 figures, and some even 7 figures. And they just stopped everything. because they're just scared. And no matter what I did, the conversations, meeting with my lender did not make a difference for them. And they just unfortunately chose to back out of the market. Now, us as agents, we need to make sure that we have, again, back to the systems. How are you staying in touch with them? Now, let me tell you what I do to stay in touch with my clients. At least once a quarter, minimum. And this is not including leads, like people who are saying like, I'm looking to buy and sell on this date. Cool. That's a whole separate thing to get into this. But people that have just, you helped get into a home, things like that. I have a weekly email I send out that I put, like I write. Usually I'll schedule it ahead a little bit. I use Constant Contact, no plug, just something I use that I really enjoy. It's like $20 a month or something like that. I send out a weekly email. I have a quarterly phone call with all of my sphere. Usually I try and knock it out like a later Friday, just roll through, just reach out to people, let them know I care, that I'm here. And also, I clean up my database. So I'm not just, spending time and trying to call people that just, they're clearly just, they should not be in my database. And you have those as well. So clean up at least twice a year. Cleanup, I think, is very important. One thing I'm actually looking to do is hire an executive assistant probably by next year to help me with a lot of those tasks. But staying in touch with them. I've also had agents, I was sending out a monthly newsletter via the mail. I did cut back on that now, but it's something I look forward to probably doing in the future. For right now, the email and phone calls are good enough for me. And then I also am partnering with other professionals. Like one of the most recent one is I partnered with a financial advisor to give wealth reviews to my client. So a lot of times in real estate, like I tell all my clients, like, hey, congratulations, you're now stuck with me for life, because I will do whatever I can to help you. I don't care if it's finding people to work on the house. I don't care if it's buying, selling, investing, out of state, this state, I don't care. I'm here to help guide you and give you every bit of help and information I have to make the right decision. And I think it's making sure that you give that off. Also, on top of all that stuff, which I think is pretty standard in the industry, if you're not doing it, you should be, is I also have, I have obviously San Diego and I have Orlando, Florida. I run Facebook groups, private Facebook groups that I own and manage for both areas. And all my current clients, people I meet, I throw them in there. That way I can notify of client events. If I want to do a live video talking about the market or just like cool things happening in the area, they get notified with that. I have, holidays, and it's a way for people to be engaged. Also, as it continues to grow, because I've seen other agents have who have bigger groups, what you start to find is you have moms helping each other inside the group. Like, hey, we just moved to Orlando, and where's a good school, or where's a good daycare, and all of a sudden the other moms that you helped previously or talked to are helping for you, and it just creates that community. And that's one way I try and stay in touch with everyone. Now, not everyone has Facebook, so unfortunately it's not like a perfect system. Email does pretty well. I will tell you that my average email open rate is about 37%, which is crazy, really good. And I always try to bring maximum value when I do that. Also, one thing I do for all my clients, starting next year, I've already gone through this year, is once a year. So I also have once a month HomeBot. If you don't know what HomeBot is, it's like a really cool automated newsletter that goes out to someone's email, branded to you, and it allows you to, it'll automatically adjust the home prices, let your clients know, like, hey, this is how much your home should be worth. If you refinanced, you could save this much money, and so on and so on. If you wanted to buy a second house, this is how much you could potentially afford. It's awesome. They also get that on top of the weekly emails once a month. Now, I also, with my financial advisor, one thing I offer to all my clients as well is once a year, usually it'll be in January through March, is I do a yearly wealth review. And what that is I will send CMAs out to my homeowners, and we'll also send an email out to all clients in my database and be like, hey, if you want to have a review of your real estate wealth, like I have a financial advisor, and neither of us are looking for anything. And we're not looking for anything. But it's a way to bring value to my clients, so that way, because HomeBot's great, but nothing's better than an actual CMA that I run up for my team about their home. And I'm able to actually sit down and be like, look, this is what you do. And believe it or not, one client actually, most people will not take up on it, but I had one client that did, and he was in a position where he was like, well, I had the financial advisor was able to help him get into some investments. I was able to help him kind of figure things out and look in the future. He wants to probably invest in some real estate. And it's having that extra service to be able to help people that just leads you above anything. So, I hope you got value from all these tips. In a nutshell, it's make sure you're dialed in and your business is, structured, because it's going to, I think enough people who have been in the industry a while have clearly stated, and I agree as well, it's going to get tight. applications for real estate licenses are already down for NAR. It's clearly going to get tight, and it's going to get tighter. I think we've all felt it. So make sure your business processes are tight. Find ways to cut costs in your business. If it's not important, cut it. Personally, make sure you audit yourself every month. Make sure you know how to do that. And then also for your clients, don't forget, nurture them. If someone comes into your atmosphere, do not let them go. Don't be salesy and pushy. Once they're in, they're in. Try and do as much as you can to bring value to their lives. And sometimes it might just be calling them up and not asking for a referral, not anything. You're just calling them up and just being like, hey, how's the family? Gas is crazy expensive. Is everything okay? Do you need anything? Don't forget you're human beings, and you need to act that way for these clients. Yes, they're clients, and it's really easy to see dollar signs. And for me, I'm a very top-down person. I love the systems and the processes and the back end and all that. So I'm partnering in Orlando with someone who kind of fits the opposite side of that. So that way we can come together and make this an even better situation for our clients. But it's making sure you understand your strengths, your weaknesses, and playing into it and setting up your business to make sure that you're not losing business every single day. So I hope you got value in this video. Again, if you're looking to make the move to eXp Realty or kind of get some insight into whether it would be a good decision for you or not, this number popping up now or the Zoom call down below is how you can get a hold of me. We can have an honest conversation whether that makes sense for you or not. I can even bring in any level of partners. I don't care what level of business you are at, whether it's a brand new agent or an independent broker looking to bring over his whole brokerage. I have someone we can connect with and have that conversation with. So hope you enjoy this video. Look forward to seeing you in the next one.